All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Hey, today's call is going to be a good one for you guys as we finish up this week and go into Memorial Day weekend. There's going to be no call on Monday in honor of Memorial Day. So we'll jump into that here shortly. But on today's call, you guys are going to get to see live coaching. So I know in the past, right, we always do private coaching calls, role playing, stuff like that. We're bringing it to you guys live today because I want to give Corey a big shout out. He was vulnerable enough to put himself on the hot seat this morning. So what we're going to go over is just the presentation. All right, I'm going to be the client. He's going to be the agent. He's going to give me his presentation. Then I'm going to critique it. And we're going to go back and forth that way so you guys can learn, all right, some different tips, tricks, what to say, maybe what to change. And we're going to go from there on today's call. But hey, check it out. Corey's 4 weeks in. So I think he just passed his 4 week mark, coming up on week 5. He's turned in a ton of business, been absolutely crushing it. But one thing that I love about what he does is every single time he can't overcome an objection or he doesn't close a deal, we always recap it, right? And doing this role play, you guys are going to get to see how that is. So if you're an agent right now and you're not doing that with your direct coach every single day that you're in the field, I highly encourage you to do that. That way you don't make the same mistakes going into next week. So think about what went good and what went bad this week for you in your presentations and get with your coach, all right, over this weekend, today, over the weekend, so that you can fix those things going into next week and you can keep elevating your game. But without further ado, let's talk about the verse of the day to kick off this call. Okay, it's Psalm 118. It says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." So this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Guys, doesn't matter what's going on in life. If you find your peace, if you find your joy in him, everything just seems to just get better for you. So I think sometimes, all right, we put our careers first. We might put this business first. We might put finances first. We might even put our family first. But when you can make him be first, it's amazing how everything else just works itself out, right? So think about that going into today, going into this weekend. All right, guys, this is the only May 23rd, 2025 you're ever going to get. All right, let's embrace it, enjoy it, and soak it up for everything that it's worth. Also want to put this here on the screen for Memorial Day weekend. Check it out. What did it cost for you to have the day that you're going to have today, right? What did it cost for you to be able to wake up and jump on this call this Friday morning, for you to be able to go into the weekend, all right, and go camping or have a cookout or meet with family or have fun, right? Whatever it is, 1.19 million service members have passed away since the Revolutionary War, which was really not that long ago in the grand scheme of the world, guys. But that's the sacrifice that men and women make every single day so that we can live this civilian life that we have. I want you to think about that, guys. Your freedom that you get to embrace today, all right? The problems you get to experience and the good things, everything that this life entails is a gift. All right. It's a gift from God, number one, but it's also a gift from the people that were willing to go on the front line and not come home so that we can continue to live the way that we do. People are doing that every single day. So don't waste that, right? Don't waste that opportunity by being a victim mentality. Don't waste that opportunity by not running hard for the things that you want to achieve. And most importantly, don't waste that opportunity to just have a good, fulfilling, all right, life and to enjoy life. All right, we've got freedom here in this country that nobody else across the world really has. All right, if you've ever been to the other countries out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So 1.19 million, that's how many people sacrificed their life so far since the beginning of this country so that we can just enjoy what we have here in America. So let's enjoy it. And I hope everybody has an awesome Memorial Day weekend. No call on Monday. But without further ado, I'm going to bring on Corey. Corey, welcome to the live feed, man. Thanks for jumping on here with me.
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Good, man. So you ready to be on the hot seat?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Awesome. Awesome. So, hey, dude, I'm just going to be the client. You be the agent and just take it as if like we'll start at the door, right? Hit me with the door approach. We'll get into the presentation and we'll just go from there.
All right. Knock, knock, knock.
Yeah. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Ryan? Hey, look, is this your date of birth and email and everything?
Yeah. Where did you get all that from?
Yep, not a problem, brother. I'm actually your local Moore County agent. I got your final expense benefits for 2025 that you requested. Let me go turn my car off. I'll be right back.
Man, I don't think I need that. I took care of that stuff already.
Yep, that's actually why they sent me, Ryan. Like I said, let me go turn my car off. I'll be right back and I'll go over all that with you.
All right. I don't know what it's about, but we'll see.
Sweet. I'll be right back.
I did. Hey, first, man, recapping that little section. I love that you just kept repeating what you said initially. You know,
Yep.
some agents get into like word vomit at the door where they just try to do the presentation at the door. If you guys check out what Corey did there, he just kept saying, hey, it's about the benefits you requested. I'm going to go turn my car off. I'll be right back. If you do that 2 or 3 times, some doors, you're going to have to do that 2 or 3 times and you'll get into it. But if you stop and you're like, give them all the information at the door, you're not closing that thing. You're not getting anywhere. So good on the door approach, Corey. All right, let's say we jump into the house. We've already done the connection, right? So we've already done that part, but just take it from the top, kicking off the presentation.
Okay, kick it. You said kicking off from the presentation. You broke up there for a second.
Yep. Just start off, pretend like me and you already small talked, 5-10 minutes. We connected already. And now you're jumping into business.
I got you. All right. So, Mr. Ryan, like I said earlier, my name's Corey. I'm going to be your local agent moving forward. And I'll make sure that I'll leave you with my contact information before I leave. That way, if you ever need anything, want to see what your cash value is, anything like that, you can always reach me. And here's just a list of the carriers in North Carolina, and we utilize all of them so that we can get you the best price and get you the best benefits. And then I'll move over to the next page.
All right, hey, let's recap that one page right there, Corey. The only thing that I would change is I wouldn't say cash value on that page.
Okay, got it.
Because sometimes people are confused and they're like, what is the cash value? So what you said in the beginning is perfect of, hey, I'm your local Moore County agent. I'm going to leave you with all my information. So if you have any questions, and what I'm going to say is, if you have any questions regarding the stuff on this page right here, you can always call me. But I want them to look at that. I don't actually want to verbally say it, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. I like that.
Cool, man. All right, so we got this page out, and then Corey, what's your transition to the next page? How do you go to the next page? You just flip it over, or what do you do?
So usually I'll do some small talk like you guys taught me, after I do that page. So like I'll kind of like dissect the room before we even do that. So if I see like a Kansas City Chiefs, flag in the room, I'll be like, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, or something. I'll make something, if they're, I think Kirk said it a couple of weeks back, if they have, a bunch of taxidermy stuff like animals they killed, or, a big bass in the room, I'll make something, some type of connection. And then after I talk for a couple of minutes, I'll scoot on over to the next page.
Yep. That's key, guys, is you want to make sure you're doing that. Every page, almost picture it like a page break where you're small talking. That way you're connecting throughout the whole presentation, and you're not just, boom, 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 flipping through each page. And before you know it, you've been there for 10 minutes and you're done with the presentation. So small talking and just keeping the casual conversation, almost like with the presentation in the background, is key. So, all right, Corey, we hit the next page. Let's hear what we go. How do we go from here?
All right. Everybody's going to get a good laugh out of this one. So being our business, I've been used to talking fast, going fast, moving fast. So I've had to like pretend like I'm applying for.
Oh, hey, Corey cut out on us there. He'll come back. It's that Moore County cell service. I'm going to give him a minute here. But what Corey was talking about before he cut off on us there
Hey, can you hear me?
was, oh, there he's back. He's back. I got you. I told him it's that Moore County cell service. It don't matter where you're at in Moore County, the phone just does not work.
Bro, it's brutal. I'm telling you, AT&T, they're overcharging. But so after I make my small talk and everything, I'll go through this super, super slow, same thing as the medical. And I'll just be like, all right, Mr. Ryan. So usually when people reach out to us, it's for one of three reasons. The first one is they have no current coverage and they're looking for something to leave behind for their family, whether it be a sister, brother, whoever's important to you. And I usually try to find that information out first and get that person on a first name basis, because I think that it hits a lot harder home if you say, if you just say, hey, who's important to you, versus you already know, hey, it's her son, his name's Charles, he's been there for her whole life, he looks out for her, does the groceries, blah blah blah. So I'll be like, hey, yeah, Charles, leave something behind for him. And then
and you figure that out by connecting, right? Like you're in the house, you're seeing the pictures of the kids, whatever the case is.
Exactly. Yeah. And then I'll move it number two, and I'll say, or they have current coverage, but because of these crazy tariffs, the price of eggs being through the roof, everything's sky high, they're worried that it's not enough coverage. And then number three is they just want a dedicated policy just to cover their funeral or cremation expenses. Which one of these would you fall into, Ryan?
I don't even know. I don't even remember why I did that.
Yeah, not a problem, man. Most people don't. But let me ask you a question. Who's going to be responsible for handling all this stuff for you?
It'd be my daughter.
Your daughter? Okay. What's your daughter's name?
Her name is Sutton.
Sutton? Okay.
Yeah.
So Sutton's going to be responsible for burying you and all that good stuff, right?
Yep. She's the little boss of the family. She's the power of attorney there.
I got you. And from our conversation earlier, if I remember you correctly, obviously Sutton's not working right now, in college, going through school, and you're doing the best you can to try and prepare, a good life for her and provide for her and the rest of your family, right?
Yeah.
I got you. So would you say that you just want Sutton to not have to worry about the burden of paying for the funeral expenses, or would you say it's more important to have that covered as well as leave something behind for her?
Yeah, I'd like to do both, but I've got insurance already.
Yep, that's perfect. You're about to make my job a whole lot easier. I'm going to be out of your hair faster than your favorite shampoo. So if you already got insurance coverage, that's awesome, Ryan. What do you currently have in place?
Something I took out years ago.
Okay. Wow. And you're still paying on it?
Okay. Hey, Corey, I'm going to stop you right there. Okay.
Okay.
How you did that whole first part was perfect. I loved every bit of it. Once you find out I have coverage, now's not the time to ask what I have yet.
Got it. Okay.
Because what could happen there is you essentially start diving into the what I have really quick, and you don't have the health yet, you don't have different things yet. So what I want you to do instead is when they say okay, I have coverage on this page.
Yep.
Okay, all you have to do is take that nugget, put it in the back of your head, because your angle at the end, right? Okay. So if I say, hey, I have coverage, then what I want you to dive into is you want to assume which one of these I am, because I said I wasn't sure. So you would want to say, okay, perfect, Ryan, you have coverage. So we could probably agree that even though you have it, it's probably not enough, right?
Okay. I like that.
And then they always agree. I'll be like, well, yeah, I mean, it's all I can afford, but I'd like to have more. And then boom, you just close me. I verbally admitted that I'd like more.
Right. Okay. I like that.
Yeah. Whereas if you jump into what I have right now, what happens is it turns transactional, and it starts to make it look like maybe you're trying to change what I've got. And I might be like 75 and stubborn and had this thing for 25 years and I'm not changing it. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
So take it from there. And then just, let's do that part again, right? I've already got coverage, and then take it from that part.
Okay. So, all right. So you just told me you already got coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And then,
yep. So then what you would just, as soon as they say they have coverage, you want to get them to verbally say it's probably not enough.
Right. Okay. I got you. I had a brain fart. I hadn't had no caffeine. You got to forgive me. I'm a little late this morning.
Hey, look, that's why I got this. I got this second
yeah,
big thing. Hey, you ever need some caffeine? Just get the gas station coffee, because it's got a lot of caffeine in it.
I had to go take Carlos to school and get a quick workout in, so I hadn't had anything. Yep. Got coverage. All right, Ryan, that's great. Obviously, you have coverage, but I think we can both agree with inflation and everything going on, it's probably not enough, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I can afford more, but I'd always like to give her more.
Okay, awesome. So great. So then we move into the next page where I jump into medical, but obviously before we get to that, I'd make a little bit of small talk, go back to Sutton and, it'd be like, oh, Ryan, by the way, what's Sutton into? My oldest son, Carlos, he's into soccer. He's all over the place. Is she the wild child, or is she the more responsible one? And I'd start diving that for a couple of minutes.
That's exactly what you want to do, Corey. And then when you're done small talking on that page, to transition to this next page, what you want to say is, hey, Ryan, I know that you'd ideally like to have more, but you don't know, if it's in the budget or whatnot. I'm going to get that fixed for you. For me to see how I could help you, I just have to ask you a few questions. And then that's your in to this page.
Okay. All right.
So like whatever need they are on this page, if they don't have it and they want it, whatever 3 of these are, all you have to say is, okay, hey, no problem. Look, we're going to work through that. I'm going to get that all fixed up for you. For me to do that, just got to ask you a few questions.
Got it. Okay.
And then you jump into this page.
Got it. Okay. Sweet.
All right, cool. So let's take it from this one.
Okay, sweet. So, all right, Ryan. So in order for me to help you, I just got to go over a couple of quick questions for you real quick, and we'll get you all fixed up. For your money, I'm assuming you just get direct deposit, Social Security, same thing as everybody else on the 3rd. Is that right?
Yep, right to the credit union.
Sweet. Awesome. And then you look pretty healthy, man. I mean, you're rock solid. I see the veins popping, the muscles, so I know you're in good health. Do you got any type of diabetes going on?
No, never had diabetes.
All right. Praise God. That's a blessing. What about any breathing problems?
No, not yet. Not yet. I like my cigars, but I don't have nothing yet.
I got you. Hey, man, we like what we like. I'm in the same boat. Bourbon is my guilty pleasure, so I'm with you. Mm-hmm. And then what about heart? There's no way you have heart problems, man, as rock solid as you are, right?
No. Nope.
Sweet, man. You're about to make our job a whole lot easier. All right. What about any type of stroke? You ever had any stroke or a mini stroke?
No, never had one of them either.
Okay. And then any type of cancer?
Like 10 years ago, I had skin cancer.
Oh, man, I'm sorry to hear that. What happened?
I don't know, man. Just a mole, whatever, said it was melanoma.
Oh, well, praise God. So you're fully cured, though. You're ready to rock.
Yeah, they cut it off, and I was good after that.
That's awesome, man. God is good all the time. I'm glad to hear that you're doing better, man. That's a blessing. Yep. Okay. And then as far as medications, other than your Toblerone cigar in the corner, is that the only thing that you're taking for medicinal purposes?
I got a few other ones, just random like blood pressure stuff.
Okay, I got you. That's everybody nowadays, man. That eggs and bacon in the morning, it gets all of us. I feel you on that. And then what about, okay, so other than your blood pressure medications, you don't have anything else going on?
No, nothing.
Ryan, high five. You are a freaking unicorn, baby. I love it. Your health is great. You're killing it. All right, let's move into the next one, and I'm gonna get one of my specialists on the phone to see how we can help you out. Okay.
Okay, cool, Corey. Hey, just recapping this one. So on this page, I love that you're making the client feel good regardless of what their health is, right? So like this is not the page, guys, where you want to look like a doctor and you're like, asking them 50,000 questions and like, they're like, what is going on? Like, why are you need all this stuff? Right. So you want to keep it light like Corey's doing. Corey, the one thing I want you to add though is
Okay.
like before you ask these conditions, diabetes, COPD, all of that, this is what I say. I say, hey, Mr. Corey, it doesn't matter if you have these conditions or if you've ever had them in the past. That's no problem. I just need to know if you have them or had them and when it was. So have you ever had diabetes?
Got it. Okay.
The reason the reason I say that, guys, is because sometimes like you're a stranger, right? So the client might really not want you to know that they have heart failure. Maybe in the past they've got denied for insurance. And so you're up here now and they're like, I'm not telling Corey I've got this because I want to get approved for it. You know what I mean? So you want to say, hey, it doesn't matter if you have these. I just need to know like when you had them is all.
Okay.
And then you go through each one. And then the other thing, Corey, is when you get to the prescriptions, they're always going to follow your direction, right? So if you say like, well, hey, because you haven't had any of these things, you probably aren't even are you taking any prescriptions? I'm going to kind of agree with you, even though maybe I do take some, but maybe I might be like, yeah, I'm good, Corey. You know what I mean? So what I want you to do is always assume that they're taking prescriptions no matter what.
Got it. Okay.
So what I'll say is, all right, Miss Betty, look, clean bill of health, like you're good to go on all that stuff. That's amazing. I'm sorry to hear about the cancer, but you're clearly a fighter getting through that. Hey, next up, I just need to write down your prescriptions. Go get them for me.
Got it. Okay.
And I never ask the client what scripts they're taking. I only get the bottles or the doctor list and write them down.
Right. That makes sense.
Because what's going to happen is some clients just don't remember all of them. And maybe they give you the wrong one. Or what happens like 9 times out of 10, Corey, is they give you the ones they're taking right now, but they're not giving you the ones that they were prescribed last year.
Right. And me and you, one of those, I think it was last week on a Saturday.
Yep. Lady was like not taking anything, right? But she kept getting denied all these plans. And then finally, like we got back on car, we're like, have you ever been prescribed stuff? And she was like, well, yeah, last year I had blah, 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 blah. And we're like, okay, we got to go this route. So that's what you want to do. It's a 2-part reason. The first one is you get all the stuff you actually need to get her approved on the right plan. So you're not having to go through 50 e-apps because she keeps getting denied because she's not, you don't know what she's taking.
Right.
And the other thing is it trains in the presentation, you get them in the habit of getting up and going and getting you something. And so when you get to the insurance, they're going to get up and get the booklet. They're going to get up and get the driver's license. They're going to get up and get the bank account information. You're creating that habit with the prescriptions.
That makes sense. Yeah. It's like being assumptive, but you're also taking control of the situation by having them to go get it for you. That makes sense.
Yep. That's what it is. And you're softly creating like you're the director in the presentation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, because this is my rule, guys, if they don't get up and get their prescriptions, they're not getting up to get their booklet. They're going to tell you they don't know where it is. They're not going to get up and get their bank account statement. They're going to say they throw it in the trash every month, right? So you got to create that habit, and that's where you do it. So it's a 2-part reason of why you're doing that.
That makes sense. I like that.
Cool, man. So, okay. So we got all this stuff here. Now the next page, right, guys, we don't have the call to close in the booklet because obviously it would look kind of silly, right? You're sitting with your client and it says call somebody. So that like in between this page and this page, right, is when you're going to do the call to close if they don't have insurance. But if they do have insurance, you got to review it first, right? So Corey, this case, I've got insurance. So let's go through this page and the next one of how you get into actually reviewing what I've got.
Got it. Okay. So I'm about to tell on myself. I don't always go through these last 2 pages.
Mhm.
So maybe you can give me a rundown on the best way to do that,
Yeah.
and then I'll run it back.
So, yep. So on this page, right, this is how I keep it short and sweet. Because
Okay.
guys, like nobody likes to get lectured. Picture you being in school, like nobody cares. Life insurance is not the most exciting thing in the world to talk about, right? So short and sweet, what this page is designed for is you kind of just want to create a little bit of doubt of what they have because they might not know what they have. So Corey, if you're the client, I'm the agent, I'm gonna say, all right, hey Corey, so check it out. I know you said you already have insurance. You ideally want some more, and you might be entitled to potentially more coverage at no extra cost or a discount on what you're having to pay. So I'm going to get that fixed for you. But before I jump into that, these are the most common types of insurance that people have. And a lot of times they don't really know which one they have, or they were told it was one thing, but when we really dig into it, it's actually another one. So term insurance is just what it sounds like. It terminates at a specific time. It's good for a period of time, but it's a very large benefit for a low premium. But it's not permanent, right? It's going to change. It's going to cancel. It's not going to last forever. Whole life is exactly what it sounds like. It stays the same forever. It is what it is. It's going to be more expensive than term insurance because it's always going to be there, whether you're 30 or 95. Universal is a tricky one. If you get an annual statement in the mail from your insurance company, okay, you usually have this one. It's a mixture of term and whole life, but basically the way it looks, right, is as you get older, the cost of insurance actually increases, but they don't charge you more. They take it out of your cash value. And if these aren't reviewed very frequently, a lot of people lose their insurance and they have no idea. Most people that have this were actually told it's whole life, but that's not what it is. So if you get that annual statement, who'd you say your company is, Corey?
It's Liberty Financial.
Liberty. Okay, so if Liberty sends you a statement in the mail, it's this kind. You see what I just did there?
Yeah.
I never knew who I said, who'd you say your company was again? Now I just, boom, I've got the company name in my head.
Right. I got you.
So when I get to the next page, I don't have to be awkward about who do you have.
Right. You already have it. That makes
I
sense.
did it in the flow, right? So
Yep.
if Liberty sends you a statement, Corey, it's probably going to be this kind. And then accidental is one that if you took it through the credit union, you got 100K, you're paying $10 a month. It's going to only be accident.
Got it.
Then we flip into this page. So if you do this page right, you should already know the company going into this one. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So then when I get to this page, I'm gonna say, all right, Corey, you said you had Liberty. Go get the booklet for me. All right, but I'm gonna let you take it from here. So we're on this page. Take it from the top.
All right, cool. So you've already gave me the booklet and I got everything that I needed to go over.
Let's say you asked me for the booklet, but I said, man, I took it out a long time ago. I don't have it anymore.
Okay. You put me on the spot. I gotta be honest. I usually don't go over this one, but I'll do my best. All right. So Mr. Ryan, you said you don't have any of that current information. Not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You did tell me that Liberty Financial is the carrier, though. That's who you pay every month.
Yeah, that's them. Yep.
Okay, sweet. And how much are you paying for that?
All right. So Corey, this page is so simple, man.
Okay.
You don't ever want to ask the client anything about their plan because 9 out of 10 times they're going to be wrong.
Okay, got it.
9 out of 10 times they're going to tell you they have more insurance than they actually do. They're going to tell you they're paying less than they actually are. They're going to tell you it's, 50,000 of whole life for $15 a month, and it's not. So
right.
This page, this is all you have to do. All right, Mr. Corey. Hey, you said you have Liberty Financial, right? That's the company?
Yep.
It is. Okay, perfect. Hey, I'm going to give them a ring real quick, check your benefits for you, and get this all fixed up. They're just going to ask for your permission to talk to me. And I have my phone like this, and it's on speakerphone already ringing as I'm saying that.
Okay. That's short and sweet. I like that.
Yep. Like between this page and this page, I'm small talking, right? We're talking about your daughter, we're talking whatever, just chit chatting. And I'm on my phone like this, right? And I'm Googling Liberty, whatever. I get their phone number. I click call. I put on speaker. It's ringing. And I'm saying, all right, Corey, I'm going to check this stuff for you. They're just going to ask for your permission to talk to me. Hey, what are you doing this weekend? And it's ringing in the background and I'm small talking again. And you guys know, like, the carrier might have you on hold for 10 minutes. We're just chit chatting. I've got the phone like this. They finally pick up. Okay, Corey, hey, they're here. Hey, I'm with Corey. He's going to give you permission to talk to me. We got to verify some information on his policy real quick. Hey, Corey, give him your birthday.
August 1695.
And like, now I'm just talking to the carrier and I'm asking the carrier each one of these things.
Right. So that was pretty clean. I like that.
Yep. That's all you have to do. This page, you've got to get it on the phone from the carrier. The only time I'm not doing that is like if it's after hours, the carrier's not open, or it's on the weekend. Like in that case, Corey, then I will probe the client. Like, how much are you paying? Like, because you just don't have any other option and you want to close it that day, right? But if it's during the working hours and that company's open, I'm always I'm assuming the call to the carrier.
No, that makes sense, because it's like you said earlier, a lot of times they're not going to know. They think they know, but they don't. Kind of like that chick we had in Randolph County. She thought she had $40,000 of coverage and come to find out she had like 16, so that makes sense.
Yeah. And then when they think they have that, right, you call the company and the company's like, nope, she's got 3 different plans for $4,000 each. Her face was probably like, what? Like, what do you mean that's all I've got? But so that's why it's so important to call the company. So, okay. So let's say we've got this, Corey, you got all the information. My policy, it's simple. $10,000 plan. I'm paying $50 a month. And I took it out last year. So there's nothing inside of it, like no cash value, nothing.
Okay. So then I would go into, well, obviously, Ryan, all right, so we know what you have. And I remember you told me earlier it was important for you to not only have enough that covers the funeral, but to also leave a little bit behind for Sutton. Well, just as it's important to achieve those goals, it's equally as important to keep it within your budget. So what does that look like for you per month? Would you say that's somewhere between $100 and $150 a month?
That might be a little steep. I don't know if I could do 150.
I got you. Not a problem, brother. So what about like $70 to $95 a month? Is that more affordable?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, awesome. Yep. So I'm gonna get my specialist on the phone real quick, and we're gonna see if we can't get you fixed up here, Ryan. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna call Mama Bear Alicia.
Good old Mama Bear, right? So that's perfect, guys. See what he did there is when you close like that, I just said I'm paying 50, but I wanted more. And Corey said, hey, is 70 to 90 manageable? And I say, yes. There's zero reason you shouldn't close the deal after that. You know what I mean? Like, you have the budget, you have what I can pay. It's done. Like the deal's done. I've given you the need. I've given you my budget. Like, everything's done. If you miss the sale after this point, you either oversold it or something happened, right? But it should be as simple as you calling for a call to close, or you typing it into the insurance toolkit, getting a carrier and being like, hey, Corey, I know you said 70 to 90 is manageable. $70 can get you this much. Most people have like 12,000 right now, Corey. That's going to put you at 80. And then if you just want to, shoot for the moon for 90, you could get 15,000. Which one do you want to get approved for?
Yep.
That's all you have to do, guys. It's simple. And on your iPads, like, I'm writing that, like, on these 3 pages right here, I'm putting 70, 80, and 90, putting the coverage amount, and I'm just showing it to them, and letting them pick. So, Corey, let's role play a call to close so that they can hear what it sounds like. So you just ring me and I'll answer it up.
All right, I got you. All right, ring, ring, ring.
Hey, what's up, Corey?
Hey, what's up, Ryan? I'm sitting here with Miss Becky. She's about to make our job super simple, man. Healthy as an ox. We got a unicorn. Here's what we got, Ryan. So Miss Becky is only 69 years young, pretty rock solid. She's out playing the pickleball and the yoga in the morning, so she's pretty healthy. Only thing we got going on is diabetes type 2, but she's got that under control. She uses insulin daily, praise God.
Mm-hmm.
And then the only other thing we got is a little bit of blood pressure medications. And she likes a Toblerone cigar every once in a while. So she does enjoy her cigars.
Nice.
And basically what we're looking to do, Ryan, so she's got a daughter that's going to be responsible for covering all of her funeral expenses. We would love to leave behind something for her in addition to covering that if we can fit it in her budget. And right now that budget's somewhere between 70 and 90 bucks a month.
Perfect. Right, guys? That's all it is. Like, if your call to close isn't that prepared like Corey's was, you're missing stuff throughout the presentation. All right, you guys see, like, Corey, he's got the health, right? Now, if he didn't give me a prescription, I'm going to say, okay, Corey, hey, let's run through it, man. What's her current coverage? What's she taking for prescriptions, right? And we'll you guys know how that section of the call goes already. But I wanted you to hear how he comes into the call to close of he's already got the budget. He mapped that out. He's already got her need, and he structured it in a way that he gave me the problem. She needs more insurance, needs to keep it in her budget. And then me as a specialist can just say, perfect, Corey, let's go this route. So if you guys are doing call to closes and you're like, hey, I'm here with Miss Betty. And then your coach is like, tell me a little bit about Miss Betty. Like, where's the information? Like, you're missing what it is, right? So you got to structure that the right way. So that's perfect. So Corey, let's just say we do the call to close. I say, hey, Corey, awesome. Let's upgrade her current plan to Mutual of Omaha. Looks like for, 90 bucks. I know it's about the top of her budget. That's going to give her like 15,000 in coverage. 12 is going to be 80. 11 will be 50. Just see which one works best for her and we can go from there. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
So then we hang up the phone and then take it from there.
Okay. Got it. All right. So Miss Becky, great news. It looks like we got some pretty good options here for you that are affordable. So we got 3 different ones. All of them are within your budget. I'm gonna go over them with you real quick. So we got 12,000. Okay, that's going to cover pretty much your full funeral and may have a little bit left over. That's going to put you at 72 bucks a month. Okay, and then we got 15,000 of coverage. That's going to run you about 84 bucks a month. That'll obviously leave a little bit more behind for Sutton. And then we got 18,000 of coverage. That's going to run you about 93 bucks a month. Which one of these sounds best to you?
Probably, I guess that middle one.
Yep, that's a great choice, Becky. I couldn't agree with you more. I think that fits exactly what we're looking to accomplish for you. All right, let's go ahead and get you fixed up. And then I'll just jump straight into the app and I'll start. By the way, Miss Becky, you said your date of birth is March 3rd, 1942?
Yep. See, guys, that's the key is you recap what you did on the call and then you just assume the policy like Corey's doing.
Yeah.
Right? Notice like Corey didn't be like, okay, well, now we've got to do an application. Do you want to do it? Like, I'm going to be like, well, how much time is it going to take? You know what I mean? So just literally small talk and open up your iPad, pull the application up, small talk, and like, Miss Becky, what's your birthday? Miss Becky, and you're just going through it. Right. So that's just assuming it. So, but Corey, I love that presentation, man. Few little tweaks, but that's really it. Just kind of going in the right order, sharing a little bit more verbiage, tweaking it a little bit. But other than that, I think the presentation is great.
Yeah, one thing I'll say too, guys, I don't know if this will help anybody, but I screwed up a pretty good policy yesterday. But hey, we learn through our failures, not through our successes, right? So I had a guy done a call to close with Ryan. The guy picked the budget, had it was same exact scenario, 50, 60, 70. He picked the $51 a month policy. And as I'm going into it, I'm like, hey, I know you said earlier that you really wanted to leave behind a little bit more than what the $51 policy is covering. We can always upgrade it later, but do you think it would just make more sense to go ahead and pay that, whatever it was, 12 bucks more a month now, or should we just upgrade it later? And I literally killed the whole thing. It was done. He was like, you know what? That's a great point. That is really what I wanted to do. my daughter handles my finances, so we'll meet with her next Wednesday. So I completely screwed it up, but if anybody, that's just the car the car coming out of me trying somebody. So you just got to take the the small policies with the big policies, right? And at the end of the day, if you keep hustling, it'll all work out, and you'll have a fat ass paycheck at the end of the month.
Heck yeah, dude. And I'm glad that you brought that up, Corey, because sometimes when you get the commitment, $50, whatever it is, and in the back of your head, you're thinking, man, he really needs more insurance. He could probably swing $12. The time to do that is actually at the end of the app versus before you do it. Like I think in that one, you killed the deal because as you were like just starting, tried to upsell a little bit and he got conflicted. He got confused, and too many options equals no deal. Right. So instead, guys, if you're in that spot where you really think they would go for the higher amount, but they pick the lowest one, just roll with it, right? Assume the app, you're doing the whole application. And then when you get to like the premium section in the app, like you type in the benefit and hit calculate and it tells you like what it is. After I've got all their information already, I'm going to be like, hey, Mr. Corey, look, so like I said, this is the 50 that you wanted to get started with. So we'll get it started. But check it out, dude, for only like $12 a month, you can see on this app, you've already done all the hard work. For only like $12 more, you could bump this thing up to 11. You want to just get approved for that one?
Yeah, that's clean. I didn't even think about that. That's really
But I do it when I'm already done with the app and I'm at that calculate the premium page. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Because at that point, after they've given you all their info, they're not going to back out. But if you do it before you get all their info, they usually will back out. And let me think about it. I'm going to think about which one I want.
No, 100%. I like that.
Cool, man. Well, Corey, dude, I appreciate you for jumping on here, man, and being vulnerable. I know that, hey, the first 4 weeks of you, right? You've been trying this game out, learning the presentation. I think you're crushing it and doing a great job. And I know a lot of agents love seeing you give the presentation like that because their presentations are very similar. So it's a big help to everybody at the agency. So appreciate you for jumping on the hot seat.
No, absolutely, man. Anytime. We got to learn. It's like Charles McKnight told me a long time ago in the car business. If you're green, you grow. If you're ripe, you're ripe, baby. So stay green.
True, man. Amen to that. Corey, awesome work to you, buddy. Appreciate you for jumping on here. Guys, that's all we got for you today. Go back and watch this throughout the day at the different stages of the presentation. I promise it's going to help you out. But Corey, appreciate you, man. Hope everybody has an awesome weekend.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. Y'all have a blessed one. Kill it.
You too, buddy.
Bye.